Hi. Welcome to the Human Design for Marketing podcast. I'm your host, Yvette Mayer, and this show's for you if you're done with cookie cutter marketing and ready to build your personal brand in alignment with who you really are. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back. I'm Yvette, the host of the Human Design for Marketing podcast. And in this episode, we are going to be talking about magnetic marketing by design. Now, the word magnetic, it's really come up for me this week because, true story, I am in the process of, I have been in the process of re-looking at my frequency project sales page and refining it. And this is something that we regularly do as business owners. It's not a set and forget thing, right? Especially with something that is an offer that is a bit of a signature offer like the frequency project is for me. Every time I put fresh energy behind it, I go right through everything to make sure that I'm feeling that it's representing the opportunity to the best of my abilities. And as I was doing that this week, and I adjusted some of the language, the heading actually on the sales page, I went into the depths of what is really available here. Like, what is the result or the outcomes that you can expect by doing the frequency project? And I've had over 40 women go through this now. So I'm in a position where I'm able to actually see what has changed versus predict or anticipate what is possible. And the truth is, the thing that is the most consistent in terms of results is an increase in client inquiries and conversion as well. But let's say more prospective clients coming into your world. That is direct correlation, the most consistent result. And so I started thinking, well, is the messaging going to be about when you align or realign your marketing to human design, you will attract more clients? Now, that from my own experience is true. And from the clients that have been through the frequency project, it's true. But as I was doing this, I was like, yeah, it feels like a step too far. Like, I never want to overpromise and say, this is going to happen for you. And, it is varied depending on the stage of your business you're at, what's going on in your personal life, when you're going through the program. It varies, right? So what I started to really connect into was that when you move through the frequency project, you become more magnetic. And when you're more magnetic, you attract more clients. So it's kind of the same thing, but the differentiator was that the transformation is magnetism and the benefit is more clients versus the transformation is more clients. Really getting into copywriting right about now. And what this brought up is a conversation with somebody who asked me, but what even is magnetism? Like, you need to explain that to me more. Like, what is magnetism? What is magnetic marketing? And it's a great question, right? Because so often, as somebody like me who's got 30 years of marketing experience, I can get out of that kind of explaining it at the level of a 10-year-old or a 5-year-old or whatever you're meant to do. Because to me, the language is so inherent. I've been using it for more of my life than not at this point. So I really started to contemplate this and even to poke into some of the Googling to kind of see where it all comes from. And so what I'm going to share with you is a little bit of findings from doing some research, line one over here, but also more than that, the hard truths or the amazing truths based on my own lived experience and learnt experience as a business owner. So what even is magnetic marketing? Well, the term itself was created, as far as I can tell, by a man by the name of Dan Kennedy in 1993, which is when I was 22. We're talking about 51 years ago. no, 31 years ago. Sorry, getting confused with my age. I'm 53, and in 1993, I was 22, and that was 31 years ago. There you go. So Dan wrote a book, and I think he copyrighted the term magnetic marketing as well. And back then, it was quite a masculine approach that he took to describing it, but it still remains true around kind of what it is versus what it isn't. So in the world of big business, big advertising budgets, the history of advertising and marketing is push marketing. It's push, 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 more awareness, more shouting, more messages, right? And that had its role to play. And even in my corporate career, it also started to change. We started to realize that that's not the only way to bring people into brands, and that actually that by creating more of a pull type of marketing, which is more attraction based, that it was more effective, or at least there was a role for both. But ultimately, you can think of advertising or marketing as either push or pull, and magnetic marketing is pull. It's attracting people towards you versus shouting at them or forcing. It's like the whole thing, power over force. It's like being in your power is magnetic and attracts, versus forcing, which is a lot of energy and a lot of effort for maybe the same result. The term magnetism in marketing, I think, is more feminine, and we've seen a lot of coaches using it over the recent years that I've been a coach, at least. And it's certainly something that I have aspired to become more magnetic, to lean into my own powers of magnetism. And so I want to kind of talk about both of these things. But the biggest point that I want to make before I go in that direction is that when Dan Kennedy wrote this book, it was many years before social media and the opportunity that we have now as small business owners or personal brands to actually scale our businesses for free on social media. Like, that didn't exist when he wrote this book. And so the importance of personal brands has massively accelerated in the social media world, and the need to become magnetic as a means to stand out in what is a very crowded environment, we call this the attention economy that we're living in, has become really vital. And kind of in today's world, you either need to become more magnetic or amplify your essence in a way that attracts others with more ease, or have lots of money, because then you're able to pay for those people to see your marketing messages or your social media, right? So you actually don't have a choice. If you're not developing or expressing yourself in a way that is magnetic, then you're going to get lost. So it really has become absolutely vital that you turn up your own magnetism so that you succeed in building your business online, in social media, and even in the way that you do all of your marketing, whether that's email or networking. Magnetism is important for all of it, all of it. And I really think of, when I think about what is magnetic marketing in the way I explain it, when you are being magnetic as a marketer, you stand out. People actually stop scrolling because they have formed some sort of relationship with you. You're far more engaging, and therefore your audience, even new people to you, are going to slow down rather than speed up when they see you and engage, like take actions, comment, share, like what they're seeing, jump into your DM. These are all actions that are engagement actions. And they're also, when they're doing these things, building and deepening this relationship with you. That means they trust you more. And the more they trust you, then the more likely they are to actually buy from you. So there's a direct correlation between how magnetic you are and how magnetic your presence is and your ability to make sales online. So I think we can all agree that being more magnetic is an amazing goal, aspiration, ambition for all of us, and it never really ends. I mean, this is like personal development in a way. You are only going to be more magnetic when you're being your most authentic self, different to others as a result of that, incredibly genuine. Like, magnetism relies on you not just being self-serving, but also engaging back, responding. It's also this level of self-assurance that comes with being comfortable in your own skin, like really, truly knowing yourself, and in a way, getting to a point where you give less fucks, zero fucks even. These are the attributes of a magnetic human, and particularly a magnetic marketer. Now, all of this is a huge part of why human design is so powerful when it comes to combining human design and marketing, because human design is for sure the thing that has helped me, and I see it over and over again with clients, become more of these things, more authentic, more self-assured, more aware of differentiation, less likely to entertain things that are draining, exhausting, and killing our frequency. All of these things are exactly what makes you more magnetic. So we can absolutely be more magnetic by design, by working with our design. I mean, even the fact that human design is the science of differentiation, and what makes you stand out is being different. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. They really do go hand in hand. So I had a look. I thought, you know what? What was Dan Kennedy's 30 years ago book? What were the things that he said made you, or what was, let's say, what is magnetic marketing? So he had 3 things to say. Okay. So number 1 is being different. Differentiation. Told you can't make it up. Differentiation is number 1. Not being like everybody else. Okay. Tick. Human design. Number 2, knowing how you uniquely, that word uniquely, benefit your clients. Again, huge part of human design is understanding your uniqueness, how your energy works, how you work as an individual in relation to others as well, and how to lean into that uniqueness to become more attractive. Okay, that's his number 2. His number 3 is having a clear positioning. Now, he did use the word niche, which is great for some of us, but not for all. If you're a manifesting generator, I wouldn't suggest it has to be a niche, but you do require a distinctive and original positioning in market. You absolutely do. You cannot be vanilla. This has to come from you and your gifts, your talents, your strengths, your unique expression, and how those things are going to benefit your audience and what the transformation is that they're going to get. This is a positioning statement. So these are his 3 things. And what I love about these 3 things, bringing it full circle back to the Frequency Project, because that's how I got into this conversation, and it's also timely because the Frequency Project is open right now for you to enroll. So firstly, Dan says it's about differentiation. This is what we do in the Frequency Project. We go right through the key areas of your human design body graph, everything from your type, your strategy, your authority, your key placements around your gates that are going to activate things like your brand, your soul's message. We do all of this inside the Frequency Project so that you are getting crystal clarity on how you are uniquely designed to be different and are able to leverage that in the way that you build your brand and ultimately your business. Number two, we talked about your unique benefits. Again, you're going to really connect to your most authentic self, and that is your most unique self. When you do that, like in particular, I'm thinking about your personality sun gate, your personality Mercury gate, and also looking into things like your shadows in multiple places that help you understand what you've healed that other people, your ideal clients, are going to be attracted to in your marketing. These are all aspects that you will work through inside the Frequency Project. The third thing that brings me to Dan, but also just the principles of magnetism, is about how do you continually get more magnetic and stay in this frequency of magnetism. This is the most important part of this whole conversation, by the way. Whole conversation. For you to be more magnetic using human design, you need to stop actually trying to do all of the things and 150% commit to living in alignment with your type. So understanding, what does it mean to be aligned as your type? So let's say for me, it is, I need to be doing the things that light me up and not doing the things that drain me, and like treat that like the job that it is regarding me being the most successful I can possibly be. To know the clues for when you're aligned and when you're out of align so that you're continually optimizing yourself. So generator, the clue is if I'm frustrated, I'm out of alignment and I need to stop, I need to slow down, I need to rethink what I'm doing. Okay, so this would be the same if you're a generator or a manifesting generator. If you're frustrated, then you're not in alignment. Whereas if you're feeling incredibly satisfied, like you've done a great job and things are working, then you know that you are actually aligned. I mean, we can get so lost in all of the other aspects of human design, but this is the most important. And then I would add to that, the two other things, which are all the basics, are being on strategy for your type. So for generators, I'll keep using my type as an example. Strategy is to be in response. Oh my goodness. Can I just go off topic slightly here and tell you about my afternoon yesterday? So the last couple of days, true story, I have had no client calls, which is kind of by design. I'm creating a more freedom-based business model. And I got a bit like, I have all this time. What am I going to do? I need to make some content. I need to like be more in my like productivity zone. And I sat at my computer and I did what I say not to do, which is I just sat there and tried to think my way through creating content. And it was so hard. It was so hard because I wasn't creating in response. I was trying to do it from my brain. And I kind of knew that. Well, of course I knew that. So this morning, instead of jumping onto my computer in the morning, I went to the beach. I did an hour and 20-minute walk on the beach. I did a 20-minute meditation. And this isn't early. This is like from 8 till midday I did this. Then I went out for breakfast and I went back and parked in my van and journaled. And during this time, so much came in, so much, particularly when I was meditating. I will say, if you don't meditate, you're crazy. It's when my best ideas come in. I told you I was slightly off topic, but I was out in the world responding to what's going on, and all the ideas started to come in. So hugely, hugely important that you are following your strategy. And then the other piece to this is, and there's so much more, but the other key piece of this is your authority, so that you're really listening to your body's wisdom, not your brain, around what's right for you and what's aligned for you. So for me, I'm sacral. Like I've got to get out of my head and ask my sacral, is this a yes for me, or is it a no for me? The more you do this, the more you live your life like this, the more your confidence is going to grow, the less fucks you're going to give, and the more magnetic you're going to be. So human design for the win when it comes to magnetism. To wrap this up, and I might not wrap it up because who knows what other tangent I'm about to go on, but the other aspects that are pivotal for you as a personal brand who is spiritually inclined, working with your design, who wants to have a magnetic presence, to be attractive and growing your engagement and the people walking towards you and wanting to work with you, you need, number one, you need a personal brand that is recognizable and distinctive, that is thoroughly aligned to your human design. Okay? Yes, we do this in the Frequency Project. Number two, stories. Your brand story needs to be very strategic. And yes, the more aligned with your design it is, the more magnetic it's going to be because it's radiating out from you more authentically. But did you know, maybe you were today's years old when you learnt this, that storytelling is 30% more powerful when it comes to converting clients than any other type of marketing. So your brand story in particular is something that lives, breathes, evolves, but it is such a huge asset in your business. Make no mistake. I've done whole podcast episodes on this. And yes, inside the Frequency Project, this is a huge part of what we do together. I am even available to review and provide edits for you on your brand story. And we do it in complete alignment with how you're designed. And your content. Your content. You know, I love the word cosmic content, so working with the transits, but ultimately the most powerful spot in human design to help you create distinctive and magnetic content based on you is by working with your Mercury. This is your soul's message. This is the message that you're here to repeatedly bring into the world. It's like it's your job to communicate what is inside of your Mercury. So we are absolutely focused on that in the Frequency Project. And I'm going to add another one, which is more about your who. Like, as I said earlier, to be really magnetic, it's not just about you being a broadcaster. It's also the way that you interact and build relationships. So you also want to make sure that you're understanding things in yourself that you've healed, that are highly, well, I was going to say highly magnetic, but it's more like the things you've healed in you. These are your most powerful stories to tell. And it's what really does attract others towards wanting to work with you or buy from you. And so getting really clear on that and how other types interact with you and your energy as a result of that is a huge, huge aspect of magnetism as well. But I can categorically say, I started here, that the more magnetic you are, then the more you're going to attract clients. And fact, when your frequency is high, it's also very aligned to the fact that your magnetism is on point. Being in a high frequency, you're vibing high. It's because you're being your most authentic and original self. It's that zero fucks. It's the trusting in the universe as your co-creator of your reality, and that by continually persisting with your dreams and moving in the direction that you want to go, that you will realize your potential and you will be met with the results that you want. This is all part of dancing with the universe, and it's absolutely available to you. But if you want help, if you're ready to go from stuck, things aren't working for me, or things are working, but that sounds amazing, I want to make them work even more so, and you've loved what I've shared in this episode, then absolutely go to the show notes now and check out the Frequency Project. We have we have a call to kick off next week. And got some fabulous humans joining already. I'm super excited. After a couple of weeks off the Frequency Project, we're back. It's going to be amazing. And I would love to support you in becoming more magnetic, attracting more clients, and actually really freaking enjoying your business and your marketing. Bye for now. There are heaps more resources in the show notes. I can't wait to be back in your ears again soon. Bye for now.